The next speaker is Mr. Konstantinos Fratos, but I do not see him in the hemicycle. So go on to Mrs. Elsa Papadimitriou. Has she hiding anywhere? No. Mr. Yves Pozzoli-Borgo is also not present, so I come then to Mrs. Ganira Pashayeva, who is coming in the place of Mr. Saidov. Is she present? She is present. Yes. She has the floor.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me thank the rapporteur for the comprehensive report. Indeed, today Europe is seriously concerned with the rapidly growing energy demand. Today we are speaking about the use of energy resources as a political pressure tool, unacceptability of it, and importance of eradication of this problem in future. Reality is that if Europe doesn't take significant steps in a search for alternative sources and alternative routes, it can find itself in a more complicated situation in the next 20 years. It is only the competition of the alternative sources and routes which can diminish the use of the energy resources as a political pressure tool. In 1994, despite strong pressures, Azerbaijan signed an agreement with Western companies on development of the oil and gas fields. For the first time, Azerbaijan brought its oil from the Caspian to the world market through the Baku-Supsa and Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan oil pipelines. Kazakhstan, holding huge oil resources, is joining Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline. This creates a new and serious alternative source and route for Europe. The volume of Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan oil through this pipeline will increase annually. Moreover, today, Ukraine and several Eastern European countries hold talks with Azerbaijan on Odessa-Brody pipeline. Meanwhile, Azerbaijan will start exporting soon its gas to the European markets via Baku-Tbilisi-Erzurum pipeline. It is very important as an alternative source for Europe concerned with gas dependence. If Turkmenistan joins this pipeline through the Trans-Caspian project, it will significantly contribute to easing Europe's gas dependence. Bringing the Turkmen gas, which counts for the large share of the world reserves through Baku-Tbilisi-Erzurum pipeline to the European market, could be a significant step for the European energy security. In this sense, certain dialogues, talks with Turkmenistan by Europe, Council of Europe and European Union could expedite the process. Export of some portion of the Kazakhstan gas to the European market through Baku-Tbilisi-Erzurum pipeline can be of importance for the European energy security. In general, we deem it important and necessary to expand cooperation between Council of Europe and Kazakhstan. But there is another very grave reality. Today, as indicated in the European Union documents, South Caucasus, very important region for the European energy security and a part of the European neighborhood policy, remains the time bomb. 20% of the territories of Azerbaijan holding significant energy resources and conducting large projects on bringing Caspian resources to the European markets are occupied by Armenia. Armenia not fulfilling its commitments before Council of Europe and ignoring Pashayeva 1416 resolution, has no intent to withdraw its troops from the occupied Azerbaijani territories. And obviously, Azerbaijan cannot live with part of its territory occupied. We think that Council of Europe, recommending and demanding peaceful resolution of the conflict, should impose a pressure mechanism for Armenians' withdrawal from the occupied Azerbaijani territories. Territorial integrity of another country of the region, Georgia, which, like Azerbaijan, conducts this policy of integration into the European and Euro-Atlantic structures and hosting part of Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan and the Baku-Tbilisi-Erzurum pipelines, is also violated by conflicts in Abkhazia and South Ossetia. In short, lasting peace and stability in this very important for the energy security of Europe region should raise serious concerns. Council of Europe and European Union should strengthen their conflict resolution efforts to this end. As back to the use of energy resources as a political pressure tool, position of Azerbaijan is clear-cut. It is unacceptable. I don't agree with Mr. Gagamian's opinion. Azerbaijan don't use energy resources as a political pressure tool. I should mention that my country supported Georgia facing significant gas problems. Gas sold to Georgia for $120 per 1,000 cubic meter relieved Georgian people and economy from the serious crisis. I would like to remind that when Ukraine faced the energy crisis some time ago, Azerbaijan authorities demonstrated political will and provided necessary assistance to use the situation. Thanks.